Hello and welcome to another night shift. My name is Yazil, and finally I found time to do a new episode. And this time I'm doing a new episode of tips, tricks and tools. And I noticed that many of you got problems to install and set up the system. So we going to make a video about troubleshooting. So let's start with our structure from the darkrift server. So the structure is, as you all have in the server, a lib or a folder and a plugin folder and your plugin source folder where you do stuff like program your own. And first of all, make sure always you have in the lib ordner lib folder, sorry about the German. It's so the lib folder has to have the darkrift DLL and the MySQL DLLs and the transmission DLLs. So that's the first part. You have to have them here. So if you have an own plugin, so the plugin is able to find these stuff here. So if we go one up, you go into your plugin folder and you see here your MySQL connector. And if you go there, you got in settings CNF files, and always make sure that the credentials of your database game are here. So if you make a new database, going for the name here, username and the password, so you can be sure your server has, or you can access the MySQL database. So the next part is if you build up an own plugin. So we're gonna open this one login plugin. Next to going to using the darkrift and the darkrift stuff, you have to make sure you have the references here. So you have to have the references to the darkrift and to the transmission. You just do that and right click and add references, and going for your folder in my place, or we can browse that and you see where am there? I don't know. Across server lib, and here you see the libs, and you have to going for the references for the transmission DLL on the darkrift DLL. So if you have that set up, everything should work on your server. If you don't, you get errors like this, and we come to the next part, how to read your error messages. If you got an error message, you always have to read what's going on here, and you see, for example, this is one of our fellows posted that in on the YouTube channel, and you see here there is an exception has been thrown, and the MySQL.data could not be found. So the file could not be loaded, so there must be something with the file. And these error messages are simply the same, and everything. It's whenever the system IO error, or can't find the table, or don't have, or the user password is not correct, or stuff like that. You always get these message, and you just have to read that and think a little bit what's written down there. So if you read that carefully, you should be able to find your errors. So that's basically an error or the debugging of that stuff. And the next is your server does recognize your command you send it, like a login tag and player add tag or whatever. When you're not sure what's going on, you just go on the data stuff. So let's see where we go there. Let's just move there on server message, so the message comes in, and if you're not sure what's going on, you just going here and write your own interface log with information, so you know where the error is. It's always the same. If you don't know what happened, just look with the interface logs for the easy way how far we are in these if cases. And then you can be sure where the problem is, and you have an easy possibility to see where you made an error or mistyped something or changed something, like you got a wrong tag here or whatever it is. You see that here, if how far you're in that running state. So the next error what often happens is your server sends something back to Unity, and Unity just does nothing. And that's basically my fault, because in one video I forgot to mention you have to have in every scene a darkrift receiver. So you just make a network manager object and put the darkrift receiver in there. If we go here, for example, for the login, we have him here, and let's go to the main. No, the start, sorry. We go to the start. It needs a while, huh? So there's the start. And if we go here somewhere, I got it. Let's see. It's not on the player app. Guess it's on the world. No, it's there, the game manager, and on the game manager I got a darkrift receiver. So we are able to get a message from the network into our system. So that's all for now. Continue with the next videos in a couple seconds. But that little error and troubleshooting video I wanted to present you at first before I continue. So if you got troubles, look into these things, and the most of the stuff will be clear up then. Thank you, and as always, if you liked it, hit the like button, and if you like it even more, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to share it to others, feel free to do that. Happy night shift, your Azil.